Hey trainers, PokéProf Casey here and welcome back to a brand new video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Besides the fact that I'm not wearing makeup or I don't have my wig on or anything, it's only because we haven't gotten any new information regarding Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as well as Legends of Arceus. And for that reason, I feel that there's no need in going back to the box cover art, what do you call it, the box art that was revealed. Yeah, there's not much to go on because we didn't get much information yet. So I just thought, you know what, let's just be chilled. I'm in my robe that I got for my 25th birthday. I know I've been MIA, but I'll talk about that maybe later or in a different video. So for today's video, I thought that let's go over 27 things of Pokemon that we might not know. Now this is in general, this isn't specific for the remakes or Legends of Arceus or anything. This is just literally in general. So I thought, okay, let's go through this. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so maybe there's something that I don't know. You never know. So without any further ado, let's jump in. Okay, so the first one is number 27. It says here, the first Pokemon created was probably not what you think. So I'll leave the link to this website in the description box down below so you guys can go and check it out. So someone has already posted this. I don't know who or what. All I know it's on 80skits.com. That's the website, but I'll leave it in the description box down below. So it says here, number 27, the first Pokemon created was probably not what you think. Pikachu is of course the most iconic Pokemon in the Pocket Monster universe. If you did not know that, Pokemon is the mixture of the two words Pocket Monsters. I never knew this. I only learned it about a year or two ago, and my mind was like blown because I never put the two together and I never understood why they called it Pocket Monsters. But in any case, he is Ash Ketchum's companion who refuses to travel in a Pokeball, that we know. One might assume that because of this, Pikachu was the first Pokemon to be created by the team. Actually, it wasn't. Okay, according to Ken Sugimori, sorry if I mispronounce anything, art designer of the Pokemon, Raiden was actually the first Pokemon to be created. That's actually very interesting because if you look back in the games itself, now I'm talking all the old games, I'm not 100% sure about the newer games, but as soon as you went into like the museum, especially the gyms, there would be like two pillars. I know this was in the Pokemon Mansion and Kanto as well. There's like pillars with a Pokemon on top, and these Pokemon always represented like Raiden, or well, it looked like Raiden. So that's actually very interesting. Number 26, Pikachu's name is onomatopoeic. Okay, specify. As we discussed about, the yellow electric mouse Pokemon Pikachu is one of the series' most iconic creatures. But where did the name Pikachu come from? It is a play on words in Japanese between Pika Pika, which he says a lot, which means sparkle, and Choo Choo, which means squeaky. Okay, so if you say Pika Pika Choo Choo, it's basically sparkle squeak, sparkle squeaky. Okay, that's interesting. Now that just tells us never to translate anything directly because that makes no sense at all. I mean the name itself. So number 25, there is only one Pokemon that can devolve. Wait, who is this? Most of the time when Pokemon reach a certain level and ability, they are able to evolve into a mightier form. After this evolution, they are unable to then revert back to how they were, obviously. Slowbro is the only exception to this rule. Slowbro is the evolution of Slowpoke, with Shelder on his tail, but if Slowbro, okay, that was a typo, But if Slowbro somehow loses Shellder, he'll devolve back to Slowpoke. Wait. That's actually so true, because Shellder literally just bites onto Slowpoke's tail and then it's Slowbro. But then would that be the same thing for Slowking? Because with Slowking, Shellder's on the head. So literally, it's still 2 Pokemon, even though it's classified as 1, it's still 2. Damn, okay. Number 24, Slowpokes are considered a delicacy to eat. I know this. I think if you play its Gold, Crystal, and Silver, and then Hard Gold and Soul Silver, they actually mention that Slowpoke tails are a delicacy, I think, on the Pokédex. Many people would just like to believe that Pokemon are just used to fight other Pokemon and to collect. They might be a little disturbed to discover Pokemon are also considered food. What a horrific thought. In the early versions of the game, Slowpoke tails were worth a lot of money and considered a delicacy. That is disturbing, like seriously. Number 23, counting by Pokemon. Pokemon have some of the most inventive and creative names of any cartoon or fictional world. However, many are named after simple things such as numbers. The first generation of legendary Pokemon, the birds Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, all end with uno, dos, tres, Spanish for 1, 2, 3. What? The legendary trio, 1, 2, 3, uno, dos, tres. That is so cool. Okay. Cubone's skull is that of its dead mother. Now, I've heard this before. It's been going around the internet like crazy. It's a theory that Kangaskhan is, well, that Cubone is actually the baby Pokemon in Kangaskhan's pouch. And then as soon as the mother, Kangaskhan, dies, the baby that was in the pouch wears the skull, and then it becomes Cubone. So that's what I've heard. So let's just see this. Despite it being a children's show, Pokemon mythology can take a dark turn. Take Cubone, for example, famed for wearing a skull on its head. What is the skull? A trophy of a defeated Pokemon? Not quite. It's the skull of its mother, and Cubone is said to make an awful howl when it sees the full moon, as it reminds him of his dead mother. Okay, but then again, if you think back to the Kanto region, like I'm talking about all the games that represent the Kanto region, if you go to Lavender Town, I think it's Lavender Town, with the Pokemon Tower, the graveyard thing, there's a Cubone that goes into it, and then you need to fight the ghost, even though it's not a ghost Pokemon, it's a spirit of a Pokemon. You need to battle that Pokemon after you got the goggles, I think from South Korea or something. And then when those goggles reveal the Pokemon spirits, it turns into a Marowak. And it said that Marowak is Cubone's mother. So a Marowak already has a skull, and obviously Cubone has a skull already. So that's completely different to the theory that I've heard before. But okay, let's just not ask any questions. So number 21, one Pokemon is the spirit of a dead human. Now there's actually a couple that I've heard. I think, for example, Phantom is like the spirit, it's like a tree log possessed by the spirits of children who died in a forest, for example. So there's a few Pokemon that basically represents that. So let's just see what it says here. Okay, so it gets kind of darker. The shadow type Pokemon, ghost type Pokemon actually, Yamask, carries around with it a mask of its own time as a human long ago. Ooh. Since it was once a human, it also has memories of being a human, and if you put on its mask, you will become possessed by it. Sometimes it will look at its own mask and cry as it wanders ancient civilizations. What's a positive thought? Ugh. Okay, no. I've always loved Yamas. Sorry, okay, no. Number 20. The face of Pokemon could have been very different. The face of Pokemon, so meaning like Pikachu. In the comic book, Clefairy was the face of Pokemon, not Pikachu. Okay, so I was right there. However, when the cartoon was being adapted from the video game, producers decided they wanted Pikachu to be the face of Pokemon, thinking younger viewers would be able to relate more. Yeah, I can see that. I can really see that. I'm not a big fan of Clefairy, Clefairy or Clefable, so I think Pikachu was a very smart decision. So yeah. Number 19. One Pokemon was created as a failed attempt to copy Mew. Oh, I know who this is. It's Ditto! In the world of Pokemon, humans desperately, hello English, attempted to copy Mew, the mythical Pokemon, after finding its DNA. In one of their failed attempts, they created Ditto, a Pokemon who is able to transform into any other Pokemon. Scientists did eventually manage to clone Mew and created the powerful Mewtwo, now that we all know by now. But I don't think a lot of people actually know that, but I've heard that theory before, so seeing it here actually makes it quite interesting. So then number 18, Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan. That's what I just said earlier. So there's a picture here. So it's actually quite interesting. Kangaskhan baby. Then it goes to, if the baby's mother dies, it becomes a Cubone. And then level 28, it becomes a Marowak. And then if it levels up again, it becomes Kangaskhan. Wow, okay, that's actually very cool. There's been a long-running theory that Cubone is the result of a baby Kangaskhan unfortunately losing their mother. Besides the resemblance between the sprites of both Cubone and baby Kangaskhan, there is indeed some real evidence that leads to the strengthening of this mysterious theory. Code enthusiasts have found that the missing code that results in the appearance of the infamous missing no actually relates to the lack of implementation of Marowak having a final evolution. The code was moved to an empty spot and led to the creation of the bizarre encounter. The theory is that the developers ran out of time and were actually planning to make Kangaskhan the final evolution of Cubone and Marowak. The last piece of evidence lays within the Pokédex entries for both Cubone, the orphan Pokemon, and Kangaskhan, the parent Pokemon. Strange coincidence, right? Yeah, that is actually very strange. But I think it would be cool if they could later bring that in, even though it's many years later. If they still bring that in, that'll actually be so cool. Number 17, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan have different names in Japan to honor different people. In the English version of Pokemon, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are named after the great martial art legends Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Okay, that's cool. In the Japanese versions, their names are Ebiwala and Sawamalua, thought to reference the Japanese kickboxer Tadashi Sawamura and Japanese boxing champion Hiroyuki Ibiar. Okay, sorry for the mispronunciation, but still. One Pokemon technically kidnaps children. Oh my god. Please tell me this is not Gengar. Drifloon is a ghost type Pokemon whose appearance looks a bit like that of a balloon. Obviously, it's Drifloon balloon. In its Pokédex entry, it actually says Drifloon tricks children into thinking it is a balloon and then carries them away. Oh my goodness. That's disturbing, even though I love Drifloon. Oh. Number 15, Drowsy is based on a Tapo. Many Pokemon are based on actual animals, and thus on actual animals. Drowsy, for example, is based on the Tapo. According to Japanese folklore, Tapos eat dreams and nightmares. Oh my god, okay. Poliwag mimics a tadpole, like, not sure, sorry, but sword, obviously. Just like Drowsy is based on a Tadpole, Poliwag is based on a Tadpole. The swirl on its stomach is supposed to be the Tadpole's intestine, which can be seen through its transparent body. Oh, that makes sense, yo. Well, I've never looked at a Tadpole that closely, so obviously I wouldn't know that. That's interesting. Okay, number 13. One move is actually a mistranslation. What move could that be? The move Splash is actually a mistranslation of the Japanese word hop. This is why it is a normal type move and not a water type move, and why some non-water type Pokemon are able to use it. Well, it still does nothing. But I mean, if it was supposed to be the move hop and not Splash, it would have been cool if they could actually use it to like boost defense or accuracy to actually dodge, a move from a Pokemon. So it says here, evolving one Pokemon turns it into a zombie. Wait, what? Paras is a crab-like Pokemon with a mushroom on its back. We all know that mushrooms live off of other creatures and are a bit parasitic. The upper one's just over there. When Paras evolves into Parasect, the mushroom on its back actually takes over the host, turning it into a zombie-like creature. This is why Parasect has blank white eyes. Oh my word. That's... Ew. Okay. Number 11. Mareep is inspired by a famous novel. Okay. The electric type sheep Pokemon Mareep is believed to be the reference to Hugh Android's dream of electric sheep. This of course is a famous novel by Philip K. Dick. Okay, well, I've never heard of it, so sorry. 10. 2 Pokemon were going to be named after American cities. Okay. The purple floating Pokemon Coughing and Wheezing was originally going to be called Knife and Love. Oh, New York and Los Angeles. Okay. This is because of the smoke New York and Los Angeles are known for. Okay, you see. Okay, that's interesting. Number 9. Was the world of Pokemon embroiled in a war before the games? Huh? In Pokemon Red and Blue, the character doesn't have a father. Your mother trusts you as a man of the house. Young people are in the position of power all over the place, and any adult men you see are mostly in the military or mafia. Sorry, my throat is so dry with this weather. It is theorized that before the game, the world of Pokemon was embroiled in a big war. Even Lieutenant Surge, which is the electric type gym leader in Vermilion City, I think, in Kansas. I think it's Vermilion. Even Lieutenant Surge says that at some point. Hey kid, what do you think you're doing here? You won't live long in combat. That's for sure. I tell you kid, electric Pokemon saved me during the war. They zapped my enemies into paralysis. The same as I'll do to you. If that's not proof, then we don't know what is. Okay, that is actually disturbing. I never noticed that. Okay. Number 8. Woburbet's main body is actually a decoy. The various Pokédex entries for Woburbet seem to imply that its body is actually a decoy. It is thought the small black tail with 2 eyes is actually the body, but that it uses the other as a defense mechanism. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Number 7. Woburbet may not be the only Pokemon disguising their true features. It is also thought that the faces of Vanillite, Vanillish, and Vanillux are actually decoys. Some people believe that the ice crystals near their false faces are the actual eyes and facial features. Okay, I'll throw in that thing again. That is actually very interesting. Okay. Number 6. Psychic type Pokemon are weak to our common fears. It is believed that psychic type Pokemon are weak to bug, ghost, and dark type Pokemon because they are our common fears. Okay, that makes sense. It seems like there was more thought put into this than we know. Okay. Number 5. One location in the game causes the player to feel uneasy. I can think of one. There are a number of odd things associated with Lavender Town in the original Pokemon games. That's what I spoke about, the tower with the graves and everything else. It's thought that the music that plays here while in the town contains isochronic tones, which could be the cause of uneasiness that has now come to be called Lavender Town Syndrome. Some people believe it caused an increase in suicides amongst Japanese kids after playing the game. Oh no, can't be that bad. Any case, one Pokemon wears the skull of a human for pants. No. When you thought you couldn't handle any more grim and dark Pokemon facts, we have another one for you. Vullaby wears a skull amongst almost like a diaper, and in his Pokédex it is listed as a dark type Pokemon. The skull appears to be that of a human. Oh my, no. Okay. I thought this was just going to be facts that we don't know. I didn't think it was going to go this dark, because I actually had another video planned of doing dark Pokédex entries or theories behind Pokemon, but okay. Number 3. Humans names Pokemon after their battle cries. It doesn't really make much sense that Pokemon would shout their own names in human language. Instead, it is believed that the human language in the Pokemon world evolved from their battle cries. For example, people saw a Pokemon like Charmander making a call that sounded like Charmander, and applied the sound to its physical features of the Pokemon. So in this instance, the word Char came to represent something blackened by fire, and Mander became a suffix that describes reptilian animals. Okay, that's weird. Number 2, some names are inventive while others are pretty simple. While some Pokemon names have very interesting meanings, some are just simply animals spelled backwards. For example, Ekans, is snake, and Arbok is cobra, and Muck is, it's not an animal, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so the last one later generation Pokemon gets a very early mention. Although the Pokemon Muna wasn't introduced until Generation 5 of the game, it is actually alluded to in the very first game. A woman standing outside the rock tunnel in Pokemon Red and Blue dreams about a chunky pink Pokemon with a floral pattern. Okay, well that's interesting. I never noticed that because I've never played the first games. I think the first game that I played was Ruby or Sapphire. I think it was Ruby. And I did go back to some of them like Crystal and those, but I couldn't play with those graphics. But yeah, anyways trainers, that is all we have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a few things with me and that I'm not the only odd one out learning all of this. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload again, especially since we don't know when we're getting news about the new Pokemon games. Tell me if you guys learned anything down below in the comments. Tell me if there's anything that you know that I did not mention. I would love to hear it. So yeah guys, if you haven't yet already, hit that subscribe button please. I would love you to join our trainer community. Sorry about that. And yeah, I'll try my best to upload more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye trainers.